There are some things in life that just don't need to be said. It's not good for you. It's not good for others because power in silence, not in explanation, or anything else like that. It's not for you to define what you do. I'm going to tell you a story about when. Now, a couple friends might say, "Well, you're talking about me." No, no, no. This one's a long time ago. I haven't seen this guy in so long, but if it reflects on you, then it reflects on you. But if you ever felt bad about something and you call somebody else because you've called them because you know it's got to be worse for them. I had this old boy, my God, I don't know how he had such bad luck. And some of us, he's just telling people, don't tell them your bad stories. But if you felt bad, don't worry, call so and so. You'll feel better when you get off the phone. And that's the same type of thing we're talking about today. There's things not even have to necessarily tell. It's not important. And it's between you and God at the end of the day, you and your family if necessary. But there's just some things that you don't need to tell. Don't need to tell your plans. You don't need to tell your struggles. You don't need to tell the next move. And you don't have to tell your wins. Because the wins, what we're talking about again, those are the ones people see. They'll know. You got social media out there and people tell their stories and their problems and their family life. And God damn it, I hate it when they say a prayer. And I love prayer, don't get me wrong, but what am I praying for? And it's just, I feel like they're asking for a prayer just to get attention. Oh, hope everything's okay. Hope you're doing well. It's so such. And they just want somebody to feel sorry for them. And that's not us. We're strong. We're going to move forward. We're going to make actions, and our actions speak louder than our words. And that's what's going to happen today. Now, this ain't about secrecy. And that's what you might be thinking I'm talking about. This is about discernment, making decisions, moving forward, evaluating how you're doing, and making changes as you go. Strategy is important. And one of the first things I learned in business classes in college was strategies in a circle. And you're always evaluating, you're always planning, you're always implementing, and you keep going around, and you come back to strategy again. My point being is, if you share that strategy with somebody, it's going to change. So be careful what you tell people. So, first thing, what's your next move? Never announce that. What you're about to do, it might not work out. Time changes. I plan things and I put it off for a couple of weeks because of something. Whether it be the weather, it might be the finances, it might be clients calling and changing their mind. And that's okay. Things happen. But other people are just going to be judgmental. They're going to say, why are you doing this? Oh, you said you're going to. Hell with them. You need to focus on you. And it's not because people want to stop you necessarily. They just want to, well, some of them are. They're not necessarily want to stop you, but they just feel like they're being left behind or you're getting something they're not getting. FOMO, fear of being left out or missing out, excuse me. If you mention to somebody, it's because it's creating a false sense of satisfaction almost. When you tell somebody something, your brain gets that feeling of validation. Well, if you want validation, then go do preparation. Validation is not progress. Never has been, never will be. When you tell people your plans, it feels like progress, but it ain't. One time, I like talking about diets. I don't tell people when I go on a diet. Well, maybe if I fall off, they'll never know I was on one. Matter of fact, I love it when I lose weight and people notice. Had a friend one time come to me. It was a lady. We were at a party, and she come over and sat down just to chat. And she leaned over and she said, hey, I noticed you lost some weight and you look good. She goes, I know it's hard. And I struggle with that too. I didn't have to say anything. Somebody noticed. In your business, somebody will notice. If you buy something and go in and start fixing it up, people will notice. If you break ground and start moving dirt, somebody's going to notice. Somebody's going to notice something that you're making movements forward. You know what? Instead of telling people, you want to be part of the gossip. I love it when people talk about me, and I don't care if it's good or bad. The fact is, you thought of Chris Gilman. Well, I'll be damned. That makes me feel good. But you didn't hear it from me. And usually it's wrong anyway, what they hear, what they tell. But don't talk about your next move. If you want others to talk about you, make it happen first. And then write a book about it. Because it's a lot more fun when people ask you how you did it. Well, how'd you lose that weight? How'd you build that business? How'd you become a millionaire? How'd you become a billionaire? Do you think Elon Musk is out there telling the world? He does. But he also writes books or whatever it is, podcast interviews, so forth. People are asking him. He's not proclaiming it himself. People are asking him because he made something happen. Number 2, your biggest struggles. Don't talk about your biggest struggles. Everybody says open up. Be an open book. Tell your story. The problem is not everybody understands. They don't understand everything you do. I love my family, but I can't talk to accounting to them. They don't understand accounting. They don't want to talk about accounting. But my office manager, Elizabeth, I've told her multiple times, I couldn't have this conversation with somebody else. They wouldn't understand what we were talking about. They just wouldn't. So find people that you can share things with, probably your team when it comes to business, your family when it comes to family things. If your family's interested, great, share a few things with them, but you don't have to get down in the weeds like overhead and cost of goods sold and all that good stuff that I like to talk about. They don't care. They might act like they care because they love you. That doesn't happen. The other part is not everybody deserves to know what your challenges are. They haven't walked in your shoes. It's not important. You deal with your struggles. You find the team and build the team to help you get through those struggles. Some people actually listen and they really want to help. That's your mentors, your coaches, and so forth. Others listen to you just to judge, and that's no fun. Some listen to understand, to learn, and that's good. Let them learn after you've done it, proven it. They're going to listen to you a whole lot better, more deeper because you've proven things. Others just want to listen to feel better about themselves. Remember that story I mentioned earlier? Maybe I shouldn't, but you call him and you talk to him and you hear about how bad it is. And like, damn, I feel much better because my life's not near as bad as his. Your struggles need support. They don't need that commentary that you're going to get from other people who don't understand or have an opinion that it don't give a damn about what's going on. They just want to share their opinion. If I wanted your opinion, I'd ask. And that's the God honest truth. You share the opinions, your struggles, your opinions with people who have earned the right to hear them. Number 3, this one I do like a lot. You don't share with people how much money you make or don't make. That's none of their business. That's right. None of their business. Let them assume what they want to assume. People might assume that Chris is rich. People might assume Chris is poor. People might assume that you got a lot of money. I see people driving around $80,000, $100,000 vehicles, and people assume, well, they've got money. Maybe, but maybe they got payments. I've talked to, man, they might have payments. You ever run a calculator on a $100,000 vehicle? I hope they can afford it. I hope they bought it. I hope they bought it with their profits they made in their business. That makes me very happy because that means they're doing well. It's none of my business. I ain't going to ask them. They shouldn't have to tell me. Everybody's different. And everything is relative. What do you mean? Well, if you're happy making $40,000 a year and you're happy, that's relative to you. And somebody said, oh, no, I had to make 80,000. Okay, that's fine. Don't judge those who say they're happy at 40. Just don't judge. You take care of yourself. And you don't have to share with others what it is. When you share your money with other people, it immediately invites comparison. Might invite resentment. And it could distort how people think of you. You want to talk about, or you want to share with the world how much money you've got, don't do it. Just, if you want to share with others. Pay for somebody's lunch. Donate to charities, and so forth. The word will get out. People know you're doing okay, but you don't have to tell them. Do it by your actions. Quiet confidence beats out loud numbers every time. It's between you and God, and that's all that matters. And number 4, self-doubt. This one can be subtle. And don't let people tell you otherwise that they don't have self-doubt, because it's BS. I mentioned Elon earlier. Elon Musk has self-doubt. He just chooses to move forward. Chris chooses to move forward. Chris wants you to move forward. Make a decision, take action, whether it be in your business, your family, and if you got a job in your career, whatever it is, move forward. Sometimes this actually come up literally today. I got to make a decision. Somebody else has to make a decision. And I was hoping that decision wouldn't have to be made. Actually, it needs to be made tomorrow. I was hoping that decision didn't be made until about mid-February. But things happen, and you got to make a decision. Maybe I was putting it off in February because I do have self-doubt. I don't know. But things have happened now that I got to make a decision and have to make it quick. But things happen where others force you to make a decision. It just happens. Maybe it's self prophecy. Maybe that's what happens. When you think about it, it comes to fruition. Maybe that's what's happening here. But having self-doubt is one thing. And that self-doubt goes away once you stretch yourself and make those decisions to move forward. Once you've grown, it's kind of like the pizza dough, I guess. When you stretch it out, it never comes all the way back in. It's just a little bigger. And then you keep stretching till you fill the pan. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about here. It's your decisions, your self-doubt. We're going to stretch that self-doubt so that it's not doubting anymore. And the next self-doubt you have is when you make a decision that's bigger than the one you've ever made before in the past. When it comes to self-doubt, don't say it out loud. Saying things out loud, it trains your brain. You hear yourself and you're hearing yourself say it. And it's something about it, what do I want to say? There's a mind games you can play, and it just sets a trigger in there. You're training your brain to believe in your doubts. So if you're going to say something out loud, then say something positive. Say the exact opposite of what your self-doubt is, and your brain will learn to do that. It'll be that self-fulfilling prophecy. Some people talk about speaking it to the universe. All right, well, speak it to the universe. That's what it takes. The point being is you're listening to yourself. You have to change what comes out of your mouth. The process is positive. If you say something positive, you process that doubt privately, but you act publicly with conviction. And that tells everybody what they need to know. And that your brain, when it takes action, along with that positivity talking, it makes it next time easier when you do that thing, because that success breeds success. And we've talked about that before, as far as your mind comprehends that. I did this, and this was a result. If I do more of that, I'm going to get more results. Now, we talk about definition of insanity. It's the exact opposite, because doing the same thing, getting the same results every time, that's insanity. But if you change things and move forward and get that more to that result you want, and then continue that process, that is success. Last thing, don't share your long-term vision. Why? Well, your long-term vision changes. One time I used to think I wanted a new house. And I haven't ever told anybody that. And now my wife and I've talked about it. But today, 20 years later, I can care about a new house. Oh, it'd be nice, but it's nothing necessarily that on my top goals. Your vision changes. If you want to do something about your vision, write it down. Physically write it down. I have a friend who's Michael. Michael loves digital. I said, you ever heard of a pencil or a pen? And he makes me laugh. No, because he texts everything. You got to physically, I don't know what it is, but when you physically write with your hand and write it down, it makes an impression on your brain and it stays there. I find little notes to myself all the time. Look at it. Even my guys write me notes. My coaches write me notes, and I got them down there, and I kind of copy those. One time, in high school, I was bound and determined I was going to cheat on the spelling test, and I took every word I thought, I'm going to write the definition on this little piece of note. And I stood there and I wrote as small as I could. Why? Because I didn't want to get caught. And the damnedest thing happened. When that test came up, I didn't need that cheat note because I already knew the damn answers. And I just got done writing them. That needs to happen to you. Write down your goals. Write down what it is that you want to focus on, and it will happen. Leave it laying around the house. I got some notes in my bank bag because every time I get out the payment once a month, I see that note and I look at it and I chuckle and say, that's my goal. And I put it back in my bag. Some people say those notes, put them on your sticky, put them on your mirrors in the morning. All that stuff works and it's great. The fact is that you need to keep it to yourself and don't share it with others. I love finding those notes. It makes me reflect back to when I made those notes. Some of those notes I've thrown away because either I've already succeeded or they're not my goals anymore. The ones I love scratching off ideas and to-do lists. And I'll find a to-do list a lot of different places. And I'll say, oh, hell, I already did that. I'll scratch it off. And I'll scratch this one off. And those are fun. The other thing is, why you don't tell your long-term versions, you don't need naysayers. You don't need those people telling you can't do it. And the bad part is them bastards ain't done it either. Who are they to tell you that you can't do that? Damn, man, one of the most things I enjoy the most is when somebody tells me I can't do something because that just forces me to say, by God, I'm going to make it happen. And sometimes I don't even remember. I don't tell them you made it happen. Let them boogers look and see what you did. My producer's laughing because I said boogers. Let them boogers look at you and say, ah, damn, he did it. You damn right I did it because you said I couldn't. I'll go shut up your ass and sit down because I just did what you said I couldn't do. If you need to help, you talk to somebody who's already been there. That's what it comes down to. And that's why this matters. All this matters. This all matters because you need help finding somebody. You need to speak less, but when you do speak, speak intentionally. A mountain climber don't climb a mountain without asking somebody who's already been there. Now, yes, there's those people who are explorers who go into the wilderness and never been there, don't have anybody to talk to. I don't want you to be an explorer. I don't like exploring. It's risky, but that's okay. You need explorers. We need those. That just doesn't have to be me. If you're an explorer, you go out and knock yourself out. Tell me how it went, and I might follow you later. The point being is, you want to find out where people have been. Mentors, coaches, family members. If you got a family member that's been successful in something you want to do, go ask them. What are the things that you can expect on my journey? I used to have Chicago as my sales territory. I used to go up there all the time. Damn near got the map memorized in my brain, in my head there, and I kind of figured that out. And it wasn't from me just being an expert. Somebody took me up there and showed me the ropes, and then I went to it. And then some friends were going up there for a vacation. Where do I need to go, Chris? Where do I need to avoid? Where do I need to eat? Chris loves to eat. And so if you're curious, go to Giordano's while you're in Chicago. But that's another story. And only go if you really like pizza because it's awesome. Anyway, but the point being is you got to learn from other people. The final thing I want to say is move quietly, build steadily, and let your results do the talking. Now, if all this today made sense to you and you like hearing what they got to say, please give me that thumbs up. Do that thumbs up, whether it be in YouTube, Facebook, even LinkedIn, because it helps me, it helps the algorithm, helps others hear what I got to say. Also, subscribe. Those subscriptions make me feel good about the end of the day and helps other people. It's all free and all that good stuff. So do that. Share if you can. This is Chris G, Hard Hat CEO. You guys be good and God be with you till we meet again. Bye-bye.